Hello, Steph Knapp here, and today I want to talk about how many emails you should send during your 14-day free trial. So, you've got a free trial, a 14-day free trial. How many emails do you send to these new people? Is it 1? Is it 20? It's neither of those, but we're going to cover what the right answer is. First of all, no. My style is not this minimal. I just moved and my office is barren, so it may sound like we're in the Grand Canyon, but it's just my own little blank cubby. Yay! So before we get into what I've learned from looking at a bunch of different onboarding email sequences and analyzing how many emails they send, I think it's really important to lay the groundwork and understand what these emails need to do. So you can't just drop a new person in your product and expect them to figure it out and be successful and happy and fulfilled. You can't. And I could spend a long time talking about onboarding emails and what the point of them is and why they matter so much. But basically, there are like 3 things that onboarding emails need to do. First of all, they need to act as reminders about your product and your free trial. So we'd love to think that everyone who signs up for a free trial is excited and focused and they jump right in. But the truth is that life is really distracting and they may forget about your product or your free trial altogether. So we need to be reappearing back in that inbox to be like, hey, we're still here. Here's this. Here's how much longer you have on your free trial. And by sending these reminders, will entice them to get back into the app. Back into the app, consistently building habit. I think I combined habit and app. That's where hap came from. And then finally, onboarding emails need to show people the path to success. So sort of like the steps of how to build the Lego city or the whatever, or the piece of IKEA furniture. You need to set out a plan and show them, okay, here's what you do next, to kind of get the ball rolling. You know what I mean? So what do we do when we sit down to plan our email sequence or our marketing whatever, and we have no idea where to start? We look at what other companies have done. Because you don't need to reinvent the wheel from scratch every time. You know what I mean? So what I've done is compiled a bunch of different onboarding email sequences, and I've broken them down email by email, detail by detail, probably in too much detail, but those exist in different breakdowns. For today's video, I wanted to take a look at 5 onboarding email sequences that span 14 days and ask how many emails do other companies send and when are they sending the emails. So the 5 companies that we're going to be looking at today are Shopify, CoSchedule, Zendesk, Evernote Basic, and Monday.com. And when I looked at how many emails these 5 companies sent, the average was 8.6 over 14 days. So that's a little bit more than 1 every other day. But there is a range. You know, you don't have to be locked in 8.6. First of all, because I don't know how to send 0.6 of an email. So the range that I saw between these 5 companies were from 6 emails all the way up to 10 emails. So Evernote Basic sent 6 emails during the first 14 days. Shopify sent 10 emails. They were sending a lot more. So there is a range. You do have some wiggle room. Now, I know saying that it depends is the most frustrating answer maybe ever. So let's go over some of the considerations that would make your onboarding email sequence shorter or longer. An analogy, if that's the right word, a comparison, a visual, a learning aid, I don't know. whatever you want to call it, is something that I like to think about that may make it easier for you to understand why you may need to send less or more emails, is looking at tasking someone with putting together like an IKEA stool or a 1,000-piece Lego kit. They obviously have two different levels of product complexity and how many pieces. And you could also think about someone who's, for the IKEA stool, for example, a wood person. What do you call that? A woodworker? Think about a woodworker being tasked with putting together that stool, or like your grandma. You know what I mean? They're going to need different levels of instruction and help and context and hand-holding or not hand-holding. And the same goes for the Lego kit. Is it an engineer who's putting it together, or is it a 5-year-old? So some of the things that would make the length of your email series go up or down are the product complexity. Who is your audience? How much guidance do they need? How is your product used? Is it something they're going to be using every single day and there are a lot of features? Or is it a simpler tool that they'll maybe use like once a month to check up on things at the end of the month? And also, the number of emails that you send may vary based on how engaged they are with the emails or within the free trial. So you could be sending them emails that trigger based on actions they're taking or not taking, which honestly is a completely different video. But it's something else to consider when you're thinking about the sort of omni-channel ecosystem of onboarding and what does each person need to see to make them as successful as they can be. So let's review. First of all, onboarding emails are the constant catalyst that get users back into the app over and over again, teach them the ropes and help them build that habit of logging in consistently and seeing value from the product. The average number of emails that you'd want to send during a 14-day free trial, or a good baseline to sort of start your thinking around, is about 1 every other day. But keep in mind, you may need to scale that number down or up depending on your product and your users and whether or not you are incorporating some action-based emails that are going to be triggering based on what they're doing or not doing in the app. And finally, if you prefer to read about this information rather than watch the video, I will link the blog post below that this video is based on. And there you'll get to see exactly which days each company sent their emails on, and then I link out to the full onboarding email breakdown. I will also link some other resources down below to help you figure out how many emails to send on what day and what to talk about. Okay, I got you. That is all for today. Bye.